Talking Luther College Wrestling with head coach Dave Mitchell. And coach, you went up to Augsburg over the weekend to the Augie Open. Normal third weekend in November. I guess it was the fourth weekend this year. But a lot of good news to report, led by Jaden DeVilbiss getting Male Athlete of the Week in the Iowa Conference.
Yeah, happy to see Jaden continuing to wrestle pretty well and won the tournament. And I think he had the most pins in the least amount of time in the tournament as well. In fact, I think he had 4 pins in under 3 minutes or 4 minutes or something like that. So he really dominated, and it's a second college tournament that Jaden's won. But as we were talking about it this week, it's, if you go back to last season, he's won 2 out of the last 4 tournaments he's been in. You know, if you think about the regional last year, and he was named Outstanding Wrestler of the Central Regional, and then of course the NCAAs he didn't win, and then the Luther Open he didn't, but now he did this. So that's a positive, and he'll continue to get better throughout.
And what were some of the other highlights from the Twin Cities this weekend?
Real happy with our 74-pounders. We have 3 seniors there that are wrestling at a very high level. Nick Jazjeski, Jared Groth, and Eric Moreno. All of them did an outstanding job. Nick Jazjeski beat a kid that was 3rd in the country in the Junior College League last year, a kid that had beat him the week before, and so that was a nice win to put him in the finals. Jared Groth beat a national qualifier from Augsburg, who was ranked like 6th in the country, I think, or somewhere in that range. So that was a nice win for him, and then he lost a very close semifinal bout to a kid from Upper Iowa that was real close. And then Eric Moreno had great wins too, and so we ended up 2nd, 3rd, and 4th at that weight class at 174 with some guys that are really doing a nice job. 125, we also had some good wins. Garrett Wongsness, freshman for us there, was in the gold division, and in his match on the consolation side, he beat a kid that's ranked number 10 in the country by D3Wrestle.com from St. John's. Really controlled the match the entire way through, which was good to see. And then Dakota Gray also beat a national qualifier, and a kid that's ranked 6th in the country from Augsburg, and that was for 3rd place. So Dakota ended up 3rd, and he continues to impress us as well.
And you got about a week and a half between competitions with the dual season starting next week against Wisconsin La Crosse. How do you handle this week and a half here?
Yeah, well, we got up early this morning, had a good training session this morning, one of our hardest goals of the year, actually, we do this morning, and so that's out of the way now. And then we'll turn guys loose for Christmas or for Thanksgiving to head back home for 2 or 3 days, then resume late in the week, and then get back at it again. So I think, you know, the key is we want to heal up a little bit physically and mentally, get back home, cross-train, make sure we get good lifts in, make sure we get some runs in while we're back home, but kind of stay off the mat and let our bodies heal up a little bit, and then we come back and making sure we're hitting the ground running. And a part of that always, Darren, for wrestling, of course, is, you know, healthy lifestyle when you're back home. You know, eating and enjoying Thanksgiving, but managing that well enough with some training as well.
Might be a silly question. Thanksgiving, known for good food, good fixing, is everything like that. How tough is Thanksgiving on a wrestler?
It can be tough, but I think our guys that are doing it well, it's a lifestyle. They're eating healthy all the time. They're active all the time. And so Thanksgiving provides an opportunity, maybe a little more than maybe what you normally would, but still just a healthy lifestyle is what it comes down to. And if you're doing that, you're going to be where you need to be.
Next week, Wisconsin La Crosse. You go up to you and every other coach on the staff's alma mater next weekend. Always a good matchup, always a good rivalry between the two schools. What do the Eagles bring to the table this year?
They're a little younger than what they have been, but they still have some really good talent across the board, and so I know that they're building. We saw a little bit of them here this last weekend at the Augie Open. They had some guys down at the Luther Open the weekend before. They'll be good. You know, Coach Malachek does a great job there, and of course one of our All-Americans, Kyle Winquist, is up there as a graduate assistant now, and he's doing a nice job as well. So they'll have a good team, and so we'll need to be ready to roll against them, and it'll be kind of a fun test for us. And then we go down the next day on the road to University of Dubuque, which Coach McGovern, of course, and I are good friends, and he'll have his team ready to go too. So there'll be a couple of really nice duels for us to look forward to when we come back from Thanksgiving.
How do you handle that back-to-back situation, wrestling 2 good teams on consecutive nights?
Yeah. You know, it's good preparation for the NCAA championships. You know, when you're at the NCAAs, we keep talking about day 2 of the NCAAs. Part of that day 2 high-level performance is managing your weight well from day 1. And so this is helping us kind of get ready for that. There are a couple of weight classes where, you know, we have some guys in a pretty even battle, and so we'll maybe flip-flop some guys one night to the next night. Probably be about 3 or 4 weight classes where we'll have different guys wrestling each night, possibly on that, and that'll alleviate a little bit of pressure for those guys.
And then Saturday, Dubuque again, correct?
Yeah, so then everybody that didn't wrestle on those previous 2 days, and some that did, will stay down and wrestle in the University of Dubuque Open on Saturday. We'll head down Friday night for the duel actually, and then those guys will just stay there and get ready to wrestle the next day. And that's a new tournament that Coach McGovern just put together. So we're excited to be a part of that.
All right, Coach. Happy Thanksgiving to the family and the team. Most of all, and hopefully you can get the season off to a positive start next week from a dual perspective against some tough competition.
Thanks, Darren. Appreciate it. You too. Have a great Thanksgiving.
Dave Mitchell talking Luther College Wrestling.